The library. Since I moved to this town, I come here almost every day. In this city, nothing feels familiar, no faces welcome me, only books, the only ones speaking to me. In my silence that day, as usual, I picked up a book of poems and sat by the window. And then he walked in. Dark brows, broad shoulders weighed down, an air of someone who had held back for far too long. I tried not to look at him, but my eyes kept returning. Strange. When was the last time someone's mere presence shook my chest like this? He stopped at the shelves, then slowly stepped into my view. I wanted to speak first, hesitated, but finally opened my lips. Do you come here often? He looked at me, surprised, then nodded slowly. Yes, sometimes. His voice was deeper than I imagined, and it sank into my ears. I smiled for no reason. Maybe I had been alone too long. I come every day. This place is perfect for being alone. He nodded again. It felt like he didn't let my words slip away, but actually heard them. That was rare. Do you like this poet? Instead of looking at the book, he looked at my hand. His gaze was strangely warm. It made me catch my breath. Yes, the feelings are honest, sometimes dangerously so. Just that one line stirred something old inside me. That night, I couldn't sleep. His hands turning the pages. Those dark eyes. The way he never missed my words. He hadn't done anything. But I sat there, thinking of him for a long time. Like a soaked memory, he seeped into me. I waited 2 days at the window seat, hoping he would appear again. A foolish hope. But he came. When his eyes paused on me, even if it looked casual, I could feel time lingering there. I swallowed my breath and smiled softly. I waited. I thought you might not come back. He looked startled, then after a silence, he answered in a low voice. I wanted to see you again, too. Just that, and my heart raced. I pulled my chair closer, just a little. Our knees touched for a moment, but the warmth lingered. He didn't move away. Neither did I. That warmth, the human heat I hadn't felt in so long. Being alone is nice, but sometimes the sound of someone's breath feels even more comforting. He only nodded. His faint smile brushed over my lips and across my chest. Sometimes, sitting together in silence feels better than words. I nodded, and my eyes lingered on his hand. Large, strong, the kind of hand that had held on to something for years. Without thinking, my fingers brushed his. An accident. Truly an accident. But he didn't move away. And neither did I. This warmth. It's better than I expected. My body remembered the feeling of touching someone. The trembling of sensing another. My heart raced fast. But I liked it. It felt alive. Proof that I was still a woman who could feel. That day, we didn't hold hands, didn't kiss. Only knees and fingertips touched for a moment. Yet on my way home, my skin still carried his warmth. I never really expected to meet him again outside the library. But then he said it first. Would you like to have a cup of coffee? That one sentence changed the entire temperature of my day. Yes, coffee is warmer when you share it with someone. We sat at an old cafe nearby. The sunlight was still soft. On the table, 2 lattes steamed gently, and between us a little awkward tension. Feels strange, doesn't it? Sitting face to face like this. Strange? I don't think so. Not to me. He sipped his coffee. My eyes followed to the trace of his lips on the cup. And suddenly, I felt hot. My own latte tasted like nothing. All my senses were caught by that faint mark of his mouth. His gaze followed mine. And then, we looked straight into each other. No words. Yet I knew what he was thinking. I lowered my head. My lips felt burning. You've been alone for long, haven't you? Yes. At first, I didn't mind. I was used to being alone, comfortable even. But lately, I find myself missing the touch of a hand. He said nothing. But under the table, I could feel his hand moving slowly closer. It took only seconds. But in those seconds, I forgot how to breathe. And then, his fingers rested softly on the back of my hand. It's okay like this. Slowly, step by step. His touch was careful, like a hand that had been waiting for someone for a very long time. I didn't pull away. Instead, I laid my fingers gently over his. We stayed like that, hands barely touching, in silence. The coffee cooled on my cup. Only a single trace of lips remained. When he noticed it, I realized this moment, these lips, this quiet touch would remain as our first scene. That night, he was the one who called. Would you like a walk? I didn't answer. I just put on my coat and stepped outside. The night was quieter than the day, deeper than the library. Walking side by side like this. It's been a while. For me it's the first time walking with someone at night. The streetlights flickered, showing his profile in pieces. I let my elbow brush his arm. A small touch, enough to feel him close. He didn't flinch. He leaned in, closing the space. We walked arm to arm. Just that. And my heart raced. At a bench, he stopped. I sat down. He joined. The night air was cold, but I didn't shiver. Quietly, I laid my hand on his knee. I wanted to touch you like this. Is it all right? His body tensed, then softened with a long breath. He placed his hand over mine. Not gripping, not entwining, just resting. I moved my fingers slowly, from his knee toward his thigh. A short distance. He said nothing, but he didn't move away. I love this silence with you. No words, yet you make me feel that I'm still a woman. In that moment, a quiet desire rose inside me. Just his warmth was enough to awaken something deep, something long asleep. That night, I did not walk alone, and I did not fall asleep alone. He was not in my bed, but his warmth remained deep inside me. All night, it held me close, and I was waking again, as a woman. That night, we walked without a plan, quietly, not even looking at each other, yet our hands rested together, naturally. Not the library, not the cafe, just night, and the two of us. Tonight, don't go. Stay. The words escaped me, though I had carried them inside for so long. He didn't answer, only tightened his hand around mine. And then, we stood before my door. Inside, the silence was heavy, yet tender. Without speaking, I reached for his coat buttons, undoing them slowly, carefully. When my fingers brushed his chest, he closed his eyes. And in that moment, I was not afraid. I found it beautiful. In the dimness, he kissed my cheek first. Brief, gentle, yet filled with everything. His breath traced down my neck. I held him close, my hands climbing his back. Without words, we found each other. I guided his hand, placing it on my thigh. Start from here. His touch moved slowly, cautiously. I closed my eyes. In the dark, we read each other's bodies. Quietly, but surely, embracing all that we were. That night, we spoke with our bodies, not words. My hidden loneliness, his long-kept longing, all poured out onto our skin. Morning came, but I did not open the curtains. If the light touched us, everything might turn back into reality. With my head on his arm, I pretended to sleep, just to feel his hand on me. That hand did not reach for desire. It simply traced, remembered, and loved. Are you awake? Yes. But your hand feels so gentle. I don't want to move. I turned to face him. His eyes were softer than the night before. You and I, we can't go back now, can we? No. And I like it that way. That morning, we held each other again. What remained after desire was slower, deeper warmth. Our bodies were closer than the night before. Our hearts, even more bare. That morning, we did not share coffee. As soon as we left the bedroom, he touched my shoulder lightly, and I did not move his hand away. In the middle of the kitchen, we faced each other. No sunlight, no curtains drawn, only space for two. Only our breath and time, standing still. Is this all right? I'm the one looking at you first. That should be enough. I reached for his shirt buttons. 1, 2. Slowly, with each undone button, more of his skin appeared, and my gaze swallowed him whole. He did not move. He did not speak. His eyes only followed my lips. And I liked it, because it reminded me I was still a woman. Isn't it strange? Me, standing like this in front of you. Instead of words, his hand rested on my waist. He gently pressed me back. My body met the wall. Cold surface behind, his warmth in front. This side of you I like it very much. His breath brushed against my neck. Not a kiss, just enough to make me arch. Here is fine, if you want it now. His hand slid down along my thigh. Slowly, not rushing, not stopping. I looked into his eyes, swallowing a breath. It wasn't the speed of love. It was desire breaking through emotion. I took his hand and guided it behind my neck. He didn't ask, and I had already answered. At the bottom of the bookshelf, I opened a box long untouched. Photographs, letters, faded faces. This man was my husband. He passed away 7 years ago. After that, I wasn't sure if I was still a woman, or even still a person. He said nothing, and I was grateful for that silence. When I first held your hand, half my heart felt guilt, as if I were betraying him. His hand rested on mine. There was desire, there was longing, but above all warmth. I gripped his hand lightly. You're not replacing him. You simply brought back the part of me that was still alive. I don't love the woman in that photo. I love the one in front of me now. At his words, I closed my eyes. I lifted his hand to my cheek, and in that touch, for the first time, I felt no fear in wanting him close. Now I am deeper than before, and it's okay for you to fall into me. That night, we did not go to bed. On the sofa, Side by side, we sat in silence, feeling only each other's warmth. Knees touching, arms leaning, breaths close. More honest than any words. When his fingertips grazed my skin again, I knew this love did not need to be compared with memory. This time, I decided not to wait. Not for his kiss, not for his touch, not for him to move toward the bed first. All those firsts. Tonight, I wanted them to be mine. Tonight, I'll be the one to hold you first. Is that all right? He wasn't startled. His eyes only grew warmer. And I enjoyed that gaze. The proof that he wanted me. I walked to the bedroom slowly. He followed. Silent, but certain. By the bed, I turned. One by one, I unbuttoned my shirt. No hiding. No shame. When the fabric slipped and my shoulders showed, I smiled. With age, a woman grows bolder. Desire responds before the body does. This time, I wrapped my arms around his waist first. I kissed first. I lay down first. The way you come to me like this, it's beautiful. In his arms, I no longer concealed myself. The traces of time, the skin marked by years. His lips touched them all. And I was not ashamed, because I knew this body deserved to be loved. This is my gift. Just receive it. Tonight, I want to hold you first. He said nothing, only embraced me. I let go, sinking into his weight. That night, I was not the one leaning on him. I was the woman holding him. The day I lay down first, I chose myself. As a woman, desire was not shame. Wanting with the body was proof that life was not over. And so, we lived. Not every day was burning. The wild heartbeat became rare, but instead our warmth grew alike. In the morning, he opened the window. I poured the coffee. He wrapped his arms around me from behind, and with that single embrace, my day began. I like this. Each day, beside you. Even when nothing big happens. Love didn't need to astonish. It needed to endure, to become familiar. Each day with you, I grow younger inside. Not in my body, but in my heart. At sunset, I watched the sky. The sun setting wasn't an ending. It was only light, changing its direction. And on that twilight path, walking beside him, I thought, if this love is the last love of my life, then I have lived so very well.